Welcome back if you're returning. As of today, there are 58 days till Christmas, so the preparation is starting in earnest. So I've got some really great upcycles, as I said, in preparation for the season ahead. I've got some absolutely fantastic thrift finds. I've got some thrift hauls and some makeovers in preparation for Christmas. So I've got myself a nice cup of tea and we can get started. I know I've complained about the price of things, and I know prices are going up, but I've had some really amazing deals again. Those 3 door hooks, which I'm going to be using, probably not just at Christmas, but throughout the year, 50 cents each. Our local thrift store had a book sale. I got some really lovely books, 50 cents each. A couple of them I'm going to be using as crafts, and then a couple of them I'm going to be using in picture frames, and a couple of them I'm going to be reading. I also picked up a magazine for 50 cents because I'm making a paper Christmas tree out of that, as well as I am with one of these books. So great deals, great finds still to be had out there. I have stopped shopping at thrift stores that are for profit. I decided that the way things are going, I'm trying to stick with actual charity shops where they feed back to the community and people in need. So having said that, let me show you what else I picked up. So this was, I think this bag was $1 and it had various items in it. I wanted the glass baubles, so there were the plastic ones, which I'm just going to give back and redonate. And then there were 2 glass ornaments in there, and then there was this lovely cute little like a lantern, and I'm going to apologise for, I had to change my camera stand. I'm waiting to get a new one. I can't decide which one to get, and this one, it's just a little bit off, and again I apologise. Some of the camera shots are a bit goofy, but bear with me. I hope to have everything back to normal next week. So I'm loading the stuff that I don't want back into the bag, and that's going back into the car to redonate. I found this lovely little duck. This was $1.50, and I thought that would look so cute in the kitchen with cutlery in. So that's where that's going, and that is going to be the start of my Christmas decor in the kitchen, and that will be going up in the next couple of weeks. I usually start, well, I do start even with the channel. These little lights, sorry, I digress. These little lights were 50 cents. The battery's working on them, so those will go in a little wreath somewhere. This little brass, like a carousel pony, I thought that would look very cute with either a little holly wreath or something around its neck, because I do have a collection of horses, and as you can see, that was 50 cents. So that was another great little find. This little Santa, and it's a Christmas stocking hook, and this is made of, I don't know whether it's brass or iron or whatever it is, but it's a metal. It's very heavy. It's got a lovely vintage feel to it. I think it is quite old, actually. I used to have a Christmas tree stand made out of something very similar, so it lasts for years. And I also picked up these little teddy bears. Now these are going to be served a double purpose. Got a baby shower coming up that I'm going to be helping with, and we wanted some little teddies for the table, and I'm also going to use these as part of my Christmas decor. The little dress was ripped. This was 50 cents, this lovely little jointed teddy bear. So I'm going to be cleaning that up, putting a little bow tie on him or something, maybe a little kilt, just to add into my Christmas theme. So that was a great little find. You don't find them that quality for that price very often. And as always, picked up this $1 wreath. Now when I got this, it's not a wreath, it's just a greenery package. When I got it home, I realised there was some really lovely little hanging ornaments wrapped up in it as well. So these are Well, you can see that they're little purses. There's 2 of them and they're quite bejeweled, and I thought they would make a lovely addition to my Victorian sort of Dickensian inspired Christmas that I'm going for this year. But I always grab greenery, and over the last year, whenever I've seen Christmas greenery that is good quality, and I've seen it in the thrift stores, I have picked it up. So in the next couple of weeks I will show you my thrifted greenery haul that I've been collecting all year, and I've got some really great finds, because I don't know about you, but first of all, the quality of them sometimes isn't that great. They don't look that realistic, and then the price of them. Recently in Hobby Lobby and Michael's I was looking at them and the price was astronomical, so I will show you some of the things I've picked up recently. This was a 50-cent Christmas tree. It's on a little gold block, and this was originally from Avon. The original in the box with all the price, it was I think a $30 purchase. Is it $30? I can't remember now, but around about $30. I have to change the batteries in the little tree, but what a cute little tree this is. And I thought there's a little box that I have coming up, and I'm going to put that in there with some pretty fabric around the bottom as part of my Christmas decor this year. So again, another fantastic find, 50 cents for this lovely little lit tree. So this was another little bag of greenery that I picked up. I think this was $1, and it just had some nice little pieces in it. A bit of a mixture, a bit raggedy, but I really liked it. So I grabbed this, and I always find that it's not there. These are nice to put in little arrangements and to fill out pots. Sometimes I've got a lovely big pot this year that I'm going to be making over, and I thought it would help to fill it out with a bit of greenery, Christmas and year round. So again, always pick up greenery when I find it, so this was a great little find. I picked up this carousel horse, and again, apologies for the camera angle, and it was 50 cents. Now I don't know whether I picked it up because it was 50 cents or because I really liked it, because I didn't really like it, but then I thought maybe I could paint it, and I was thinking of maybe doing something like gingerbready, so I might donate that back or I might keep it. You'll see in the next weeks. This was a lovely find, this Christmas picture. I think it's a Currier and Ives. I don't mind the frame on it, I like the matte, but the picture is just lovely and it's in really good condition. So that was $4, and you will definitely see that in my Christmas decor. If anybody else does this, but I tend to go through phases with my Christmas decor. I found that little Santa Claus for 50 cents. Now I've had collections of Santa in the past and redonated them, so I don't know why I picked that up, because recently I've donated them all anyway. But this box was fantastic. It's got a lovely old feel to it. It's proper old paper decoupage box. It's got a really lovely vintage feel. This was, I believe, it's got like a metal trim on it as well. The little lock works, and I do believe this was $1. The inside's not brilliant, but I like it. It adds to that vintage look. I think it did have some material inside and in the roof, but I'm going to be adding that gold Christmas tree to this, and again, it's going to give that lovely Dickensian Victorian look that I'm looking for this year for Christmas. This was a poster that I found for 50 cents, and I think it is Renoir, or it might be a Monet, but it's a lovely picture. So I've just got to find a nice big frame for that, and I'm going to dig around after Christmas. Found these great candles, all completely working, wax covered, with the little remote control. They just need the batteries changing, but I did check them to make sure they worked, and they all do. Again, it was in the package, brand new, $4, and if anyone knows the price of these when they're new, it's not $4. So obviously I love candles at Christmas, This was something that reminded me of something that Julie had done on Julie's Designs and Signs. She'd picked one of these up. It's plastic, but it looks metal from a distance. And I decided I could probably make this very Christmassy. So it's not broken. It's got all the little pieces as far as I could tell. And I just thought it had a lovely vintage feel. And when it's finished, I hoped it would turn out well, but I'm so pleased with how this turned out. But you'll see that in a minute when I get to crafting. I picked up this bag of apples for 50 cents and I am going to be gilding those. Again, that was something that was a very vintage Victorian process that they used to do. They used to do it with pears and nuts and apples. So these are in great condition, especially for the money. They might have been $1 actually. So those are going to be in an upcoming video. $1.50 for this beautiful glass globe. I have a whole collection of these in different sizes. Some are actually vintage. This is a reproduction, but it's a nice colour and a nice tone. These little embroidery frames, picture frames, I'm going to be adding them to some lamps as part of a little makeover that I'm doing in the kitchen with some lighting. So those are going to be something special. And then I found these globes, cloches. So I got the little plates to go with them. Everything was 50% off the day I got these. So I paid $1 for the big cloche. And then I paid 75 cents for the smaller cloche, and then I paid 25 cents for the clear glass dish and 25 cents for the other pottery dish that I put under the other cloche. And again, I always pick those up because they're a great idea. These were in the crafting section. These were 25 cents originally, $2 from the Dollar Tree. And this is another one from my outdoor decor. I've been picking up cones throughout the season. That one was 50 cents. And if you've seen those at Michael's, they are very expensive. These are two little, again, they're similar to embroidery rings. I'm not sure what they are, but I got them for 50 cents. Those are going to be little fabric wreaths. I picked up some glue sticks for $3, which was another great find. These are also $2 originally from the dollar store, and I got them for 50 cents each. So those were a great deal, and I have a big plan for those. And then I picked up this scrapbook, and it's got the most beautiful thick black card stock in it, and I think this was $1. So I picked that up because I thought that's something that I will use not only at Christmas but year round. So again, prices were great haul. I also picked up some practical little things. This was 50 cents, and I thought Christmas as well as using it for little pancakes. A little stamp for 50 cents. These scissors were 50 cents. Great for cutting perfect lines when you have to do stuff like that. So those were a great price. I had this dish towel for 75 cents, and I had 2 dishcloths for 50 cents, and then I picked up this two plaid tea towels, perfect for Christmas, and then a little pot holder for, I think the whole set was $3. So I thought they would look great either hanging or just placed in the kitchen for Christmas time. So let's move on to some of the items that I've made. So here we have this little plastic that looks like metal. So I just took my old pot of white chalk paint. It's gone very thick, this has, so I had to water it down a little bit, but it's given it almost like a bit of a texture. So I've sort of, as you can see here, I've covered the whole thing in this white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it afterwards with a little bit of gold rub and buff, or it's just like a very light gold paint, and it just highlights certain areas. And then I have some little pieces of greenery that I'm going to be adding to it. As I'm painting it, I'm trying to get as much into the nooks and crannies, but not all of them, because I do want it to retain that vintage look to it. So it seems counterproductive that it's got a metal look to it and I'm adding a metal look back into it, but you'll see at the end, it's just, I'm just so happy with how it turns out. Let me know what you think. I think it looks pretty good. You might think it looks terrible, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. So it's got a good coating on the whole thing, and as you can see, I've taken a little bit of a gold rub and buff on a brush and just highlighted certain areas. I've taken the bell, I've taken round the windows and some of the boards, and then I've got this little stick, a stick of greenery, and I'm just cutting off. This is wired, by the way, that's why I'm using these little clippers, so that way I can bend the little pieces of greenery. I'm going to make a couple of little wreaths, add in some little bow, and then I'm going to cover a couple of little things up that are just don't suit that Christmas look. There's a guy that's holding a gun, and he's at the bottom of the little picture, and he's holding a gun and he's got like a hunting dog with him. So I thought I changed that a little bit, so I covered the little hunting dog in trees and then put a little Christmas tree over his shoulder, so he looks like he's walking to the train with his Christmas tree. So here it is, the finished piece. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I love the contrast with the red velvet ribbon and all the little bits of greenery. All the greenery I did touch up with white paint to make it look as if it was snow covered, but really happy with how this turned out, and it was a lot better than I expected. Let's move on to my little Christmas trees. This is a paperback book. It's a very old one, so I hate to destroy books, I really do, but this is just an old book. I tore out 100 pages and made sure that they were still joined by their binding, took the cover off and then just ripped out the 100 pages. And then it's just a matter of folding back three folds. So this is the magazine that I did, but I folded it once, folded it twice, and then the third fold gives it your flat bottom. So as you can see, the first fold folds onto itself, the second fold you fold it again back into the spine, then the third fold is the bottom fold that tucks up in between the last two folds. So you're making the Christmas tree shape, and you can do it all in one step, or you can do it like I did this way, where I did the two folds and then the third fold that came back and did it afterwards. But once it's finished, it gives you a lovely Christmas tree shape, and it's a nice flat bottom for you to position it where you want it. And as you can see, this is the magazine tree, and I just added a little red velvet bow on top of that. And very similar with the book tree, I just tipped the edges with a little bit of gold paint and then added a little bow on top. This was an amazing find. I saw this, picked it up, and I wasn't sure if I really liked it or didn't like it, but I bought it home because it was $3. And when I got it home, I thought, well, I'll check it out and see if it's actually worth anything. $68. I was so pleased when I realised that. So I don't sell on, I'm keeping this, but I'm very glad that I picked it up for $3. Another amazing find, this two-seater wingback chair for $12.50. It was 50% off. So that is my next upholstering project, and you'll see that in time for Christmas. Another project that I've been trying to do for a while was a paper star made out of toilet rolls. These, I'd been gathering toilet rolls, as I said, for quite a little while. I decided on my pattern. I did it, as you can see, I had a pattern, and then I cut out, I think, about 15 toilet rolls. These are the good quality ones, so they're quite thick. Actually, if you've got lesser quality toilet rolls, they're easier and more pliable. But as you can see here, I've cut them, used a template, and I've cut out at least 15 or 16. Once those are all cut out, what I did was painted them gold, painted them inside and out. This is just regular craft gold paint that I got from Michael's. And then I put an upside T shape. So there was a bead of glue halfway down the middle of the toilet roll holder, and then a line across, and then glued each piece to one another, making sure everything is pressed down firmly and let everything dry. So this is the end result, and I realised it kind of looks like a pinwheel. Remember the ones you used to have when you were a kid and they were on a stick and you used to blow them? That's what it reminds me of, but I've done these with paper bags and they look really cool. So I'm going to show you the last project, which was my coffee table upcycle. This was a coffee table that I've had for many years. It's had many different covers on it. This was the last cover. It got a bit stained, so I decided to pull this cover off. It was stapled and glued back down to the original cover that was on it. So it is tufted, and I really like the look of it, and I wanted to try a paint technique. Now when I say a paint technique, I mean paint, regular household wall paint. What I did was I wanted to try and achieve the look of leather. So I gave it a coat. So the way it works is 1 part paint to 3 parts water. So it's quite watered down the first coat. Then half water, half paint for the second coat. And then the third coat was 3/4 paint, 1/4 water. And you can see that's what I ended up with. I decided just to do the top, and if this had been a plain fabric, I think it would have worked out perfectly, but because it had quite a pronounced pattern on it, you could still see that. But when I show the end result, I don't mind it in the least. So I didn't do the sides. I decided to cover the sides in material because I was using so much paint and I only had a little bit left. So I'm about to show you the end result, which is not exactly as planned, but it looks really, really good in my living room. So this is the material. It's like a menswear material. So I measured a strip that fit from obviously where the top bead begins down to the bottom bead, and a little bit to fold over. I was going to embellish with some ribbon or some piping, but I decided I just liked the way the material looked. I added some copper wheels that I'd taken off a previous project, and this is the end result, and boy does it ever look good in my living room at the moment. So household paint, it was a semi-gloss and just a piece of thrifted fabric and some old wheels, and it looks $1 million. So the total cost for this, the wheels were free. They came off an old chair. The material was 75 cents. I've thrifted that over the last year. The paint was $5 I picked up from the restore, and the actual coffee table sort of footrest was $5 that I picked up quite a while ago. So a really great deal that turned out really nicely and saved me quite a bit of money. I just wanted to give you a quick update on my son. He's out of hospital and doing extremely well, so thank you so much for all your prayers. I was absolutely humbled by your kindness and support. Thanks again. Look out over the next few weeks as I will be featuring some more items that have been thrifted and handmade. And have a great week, and I'll see you next time.